All right, it's news to us the week of December 9th, 2024. Hey, it's Eddie and Jason here. A lot of stories to get to, Jason, as always. What do we have coming up?
Oh, we're going to talk about DJT and all the nuts he's going to bring to our lives
Yeah.
come his new administration. We're also going to talk
they get worse and worse, these appointments. Every
Oh,
time you
man.
see it, and it's just one after another. It's an endless barrage of just BS.
Yeah.
It's
And
scary, isn't it? All these people he's putting in charge.
Yeah, it's scary, and all his attack on people of color will continue, and
What is that?
like immigration and
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's going after people that don't look like him. So if you're not orange, you're in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez.
We're also gonna talk about the United Healthcare CEO shooting.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that one's pretty controversial because, a lot of people are having a hard time being sympathetic about that.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get the details, and there's breaking stories as of today
all right.
surrounding that. Also, the fall of the Assad regime. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has fled Syria and relinquished control to rebels of Syria. We're also going to talk about TikTok and its fate as a court has. Yeah. I know you love TikTok, but
I do. Everybody loves TikTok. You're the only person that doesn't. So, and it's going away. It's banned.
Yeah, get your fill in because a court has upheld a ban of TikTok.
Okay. Jeez. Okay, we have a lot to get to. We better start the show.
And welcome to the United States of America.
Global woman, radioactive sites, imperialistic wrongs, and animal rights news.
IW Radio.
It's news to us.
All right, we are live here on IW Radio. It's news to us. Okay, a lot to get to. That why don't we start out with that TikTok ban? Because I think everybody is concerned about this. I know that I am.
Are you? Why are you concerned about this, Eddie?
Because I think so. TikTok has become a social media network where you can go on and you can get a lot of unfiltered information, and it's great because it's not owned by the Mark Zuckerberg, the Facebook guy. It's not owned by Elon Musk. It's owned by someone else. So you can log on and then not be in their stupid little sphere of influence. And plus the content it's a good platform. Whoever invented TikTok did a really good job because it sucks you in, and then I learn a lot on there. I've gone down fun rabbit holes on there. There are conspiracy nuts, but you can but it's a good platform. It's fun, but the thing is, it's not really. It's going away, but it's not. So they're going to move everything over to a platform called Lemon 8. Lemon 8. So basically, like all of your followers, everything that you have goes to Lemon 8. And so and already on your TikTok profile, it says, click this to go to Lemon 8. That's exactly what it says. Click this to go to Lemon 8.
Wow. So. Well, an appeals court ruled today that they upheld a law requiring BitDance, which is the owner of TikTok, to divest TikTok in the U.S. by January 19, 2025. So that's just over a month away. TikTok is planning to appeal this decision to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court. The Justice Department has argued that TikTok poses a national security risk due to its potential for Chinese government access to U.S. user data. And Attorney General Merrick Garland has called the ruling a step forward, blocking TikTok as a weapon for China. So do you still feel the same way if you see the top law enforcement agent saying that it is a weapon for China?
Yeah, but they're going to say that because I don't trust anything the government says. So that could be true, whatever.
Aren't you a conspiracy theorist now?
Well, so, I mean, look at who pays the politicians. You have Mark Zuckerberg meeting with these guys constantly and funding all of their campaigns. You have Elon Musk running the government now. They don't want any competition. They don't want TikTok. So, of course, the only way to get rid of it is to say it's a national security risk, and whether it is or not, I don't know. But I think that Facebook is a national security risk. X is a national security risk because the problem isn't being addressed. The problem of these companies having access to all this data, that's the real issue that everybody's ignoring, and we're just scapegoating TikTok and making them seem like the enemy. And instead of, we're not addressing the real issue here, because if we did, that would put Facebook and X underwater.
Well, with that, I'll say that the Chinese embassy to the U.S. has responded, saying that the law was a commercial robbery, warning it could harm U.S.-China relations. Now, why would that harm U.S.-China relations if China's government was not involved in TikTok, Eddie?
Because because American businesses want to do business in China. And if we're saying that this Chinese business can't do business in America, then we're not playing fair. Because, if Facebook operates in China, that's a huge market, and all the movie studios, they release their movies in China, and there's a lot of money to be had when these Marvel movies get released, for example. They are big here in the US and then twice as big in China, and there's a lot of money for American companies to be made in China.
Yeah,
that's why. Any other questions?
Well, I don't know. It's U.S.-China relations. It felt more diplomatic than business-oriented.
Yeah.
And more tension, as the tension rises around the world. And, of course, there's tension between China and the U.S.
Yeah.
There's already a trade dispute, which includes a restriction on Chinese chip industries and bans on critical mineral exports by Beijing.
Right.
So China's already, it's a trade war almost. And you're saying that this is just another flag in that trade war? Is that kind of what you're saying here?
No.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that TikTok is being scapegoated, and the real issue isn't being addressed. And Mark Zuckerberg is just as guilty as anybody in China of this data.
So it's more of a broader topic than like social media in general. You think should be banned. You're saying all of social media should be banned.
I'm just saying there should be restrictions on social media, not ban it. I mean, you have to have that. Right now, it just has free reign to do whatever the hell it wants. And these social media platforms, they're creepy because you talk about something, then you see ads for that on your social media. And TikTok does the same thing. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not guilty of this. They need to find a way to protect our privacy. And nobody's talking about that. They're just saying TikTok, national security, blah, blah, blah. But nobody's talking about the real issue. It's because they don't want to. That Mark Zuckerberg is paying all the politicians. Elon Musk is the first lady now. So,
Wow.
We're effed.
Yeah. Well,
so
follow your TikTok filling, because I have a feeling it's going to get banned, Eddie.
I mean, as of right now, yeah. And just follow us on Lemon 8. All the content's going to Lemon 8.
What a weird name.
This is a good time to jump in, get in on the ground floor, so you don't miss out on this one.
I don't think I'm missing out on anything.
Yeah, I mean, I will say TikTok takes a lot of your attention. It sucks you in, and then before you know it, you're on it more than watching TV.
Oh, interesting. Well,
yeah, so it's probably best you don't get into it because it's quite addictive.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably doing the right thing.
We're all going to be doing the right thing soon because TikTok's going away.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Possibly. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look good for TikTok.
No, it doesn't, unfortunately. So, everybody's talking about how, not everybody, the DJT and the Republicans are talking about how Donald Trump won by a landslide. And that's not true. He actually won by a razor-thin 1.6% popular vote margin.
Mm.
So, it looked like he won by a lot more votes originally, but as the votes are counted, it's only 1.6%. That's a razor thin margin. So, and then of course, ever since he won, the right has been saying that DJT has a mandate to do whatever he wants because all the country supports him, but it's only 1.6% popular vote margin. And saying that's a mandate is like declaring yourself a Michelin star chef after boiling water, Jason. So you can't do that. So his margin is smaller than every president since 1888, except for JFK and Nixon, which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So he scored 312 electoral votes, and that's modest compared to Clinton's 370 and Obama's 365. So he ranks 44th out of 60 elections in terms of electoral college margin. So near the bottom there.
Yeah.
And the swing states were decided by just 200,000 votes. So a shift of about 100,000 votes in those states would have flipped the presidency to Harris. Isn't that crazy? It came down to 100,000 votes, 116,000 votes. That's all it came down to in swing states. Really, 116,000 votes are what changed the course of history. So, and that's the bullshit thing about these elections in the United States. And we were talking about this on our election night covers, is it comes down to the swing states and just a couple of votes. And that's what happened. We saw that again. 100,000 votes. Can you believe that, Jason? What do you think of that? It came down to 100,000 votes.
Yes, it's so little, but I do want to point out a couple things, and it might be a bummer, Eddie. But
yeah,
in the Senate races in 2024, the U.S. Senate flipped from Dem control to GOP. The Dems lost 4 seats.
Yeah.
And the GOP gained 4 seats. They have a majority of 53 senators, the Democrats 47.
Right.
They also still maintain control of that U.S. House. They
barely.
The GOP lost 1 seat while the Democrats gained 1.
Yeah.
And there's also
how are you feeling about that?
Well, and there's also 27 GOP governors now versus Democrats 23. So,
but didn't I believe the Democratic Party pick up some governor seats comparatively?
No,
I believe no.
They
okay.
did not.
Well, how are you feeling about this?
All of it.
Power?
I mean, yeah, it's scary. It's very scary. But I mean,
what are you afraid of?
The general election was closer, but I think the underlying theme is, man, a lot of people just got brainwashed, in my opinion.
You think people got brainwashed?
Yeah, I think it's scary.
What's scary about people being brainwashed?
Well, because they voted, and we have, crazy people in charge, or will be in charge once again, and there's nothing really to block them.
Yeah,
they can push through whatever they want. They control the full House, they control the presidency, and they control the Senate, and they control the judicial branch.
Supreme Court, yeah.
Yeah, like
they've got it all.
Yeah,
it's
terrifying.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years. And terrifying, you say, because of a few things that they're already saying that they're going to do. Like DJT is saying that he vows to deport U.S. citizens in new immigration policy using the military for deportations. This is a dystopian escalation that risks redefining the U.S. as a nation ruled by force rather than law. So how can you deport U.S. citizens alongside undocumented immigrants? How does this even work? But what he wants to do is he wants to end birthright citizenship. So this is in the 14th Amendment. It guarantees birthright citizenship. This is if your parents came here illegally and then you're born here, you are an American citizen according to the 14th Amendment. But DJT wants to challenge that, and these are the citizens that he's talking about deporting, ones who came here with illegal immigrant parents and then were born here. So can you imagine that you're born here in the United States? It's the only country that you know, and you're a U.S. citizen. You're just born here, and then you're being told that you're not a citizen.
Yeah, and you're being forced to go to a country that you've never been,
I mean, where do
possibly
you
to
go?
speak a language that your parents' home country. I don't know.
I mean, because you're not a citizen there. You're
Right.
basically a man with no country at that point. Like, what are you going to do? So that's when what you do is you take these people and you hold them in Texas and behind like in a little fenced off area.
Hmm.
Put them in there for a while. Make them maybe do some work or something.
Hmm.
Until that becomes a burden, you have too many, and then what? Oh no, you have too many people here. It's getting expensive. Well, got to make some room. Why don't you take a shower over there?
Oh boy.
I mean, that's right.
Oh. Yeah. Well.
I mean, I'm saying this. The people should be aware this is where it could go, and we should be looking at worst case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose. I was thinking more like Tom Hanks in the terminal, and you just get to live in an airport because
you get to live in an. Doesn't that sound amazing? You get to live in an airport.
You have nowhere to go. You have no country. Oh man, what? Yeah, crazy.
I mean, these are people who are born
born here, birth certificate, social security cards. They live here.
Yeah, just it
Their
turns
whole
out
life.
that their parents are their parents came here and then they were born here and then they're American citizens and by the 14th Amendment, and that's going to be challenged, the 14th Amendment. Yeah. So, geez. And of course, using military for the deportations too, that's turning the the military on American citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing screams land of the free more than armored Humvees patrolling the suburbs for undocumented nannies.
Would that be, is that martial law?
No, I believe that's different than martial law, but yeah.
Where the military polices U.S. citizens?
Well, yeah, martial law is different than that. What is martial law exactly? Let's get the definition of martial law, because it is different than that. So martial law is temporarily. I think it's like when let's see, civil liberties and constitutional protections are suspended during martial law, and then the military commander has unlimited authority to make and enforce laws. So it's happened a few times in American history. So it looks like in 1963 during the civil rights movement in Cambridge, after Pearl Harbor, the San Francisco earthquake of 1906, the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, the Battle of New Orleans during the War of 1812. But those are the only times it's been declared. It wasn't even declared after 9/11. They could have, but they didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy. When the military is used to police U.S. citizens, it's called martial law.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they're saying they're doing?
No, I think that they just want to use the military to go
to enforce
to round up, to help round up.
And detain.
I guess. I mean,
U.S. citizens. I think there's an argument it might be martial law, Eddie.
Yeah, maybe there is a bit of a gray area there. Whatever it is, it's not good.
It's not good. Yeah.
And it challenges the 14th Amendment, which that's scary. People should be scared. And these are I bet a lot of people voted for DJT in this demographic.
Yeah. Well, let's think. In a month, Eddie, DJT is going to be sworn in as president. TikTok will be gone. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do?
Yeah, like what? Like you're not going to have TikTok to get out of, away from this. Like, are you going to watch Netflix again? Like,
I'm going to watch it.
How are you going to unwind if you don't have the TikTok to? I want to start calling it the TikTok.
The TikTok? I guess I have to get on Lemon 8. Yeah. I think Lemon 8 is where it's going to be. Yeah, I'm getting on the Lemon 8. Also, Blue Sky. Blue Sky is the new Twitter.
Is Lemon 8 owned by China as well.
I don't know who owns Lemonade.
Hmm.
I don't know. I mean, why is it that Lemonade is where everything is going? Yeah, it looks like it is owned by the same company, ByteDance. ByteDance is also owns Lemonade.
Yeah. So how is that? How is Lemon 8 not banned, but TikTok will be?
I think it's like whack-a-mole, because they're saying that TikTok, the app TikTok, is banned, and they're not talking about Lemonade, so they can't ban Lemonade.
Mm.
That's interesting. So, like, see, again, this is the problem, is that they're not going after the real issue, which is the privacy thing, and it's just another app that's going to pop up and be the same thing all over again. But anyways, yeah, DJT says that he wants to end birthright citizenship. So again, if you're born here and your parents are illegal immigrants, that means you are an American citizen according to the 14th Amendment. But DJT wants to end birthright citizenship on day one, claiming, quote, "It's ridiculous."
So how would that work, Eddie? Would they make a new amendment to zero out the 14th Amendment?
DJT is just going to take his black Sharpie and cross it out.
like he did for the
Yeah.
hurricanes? I got you. Yeah, I'm just
Well,
curious. Like,
there's-
is that a
there's-
constitutional crisis?
Well, there's no clear legal strategy for bypassing the 14th Amendment, according to law experts. There's really no clear strategy to that. So, who knows what the hell's going to happen?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nuts though. Of course he's going to try to do this.
But again, this guy is full of shit too. Let's not forget that. Because remember the whole border wall and everything? I think this is part of him being elected, getting the racists behind him, because just in the same way the border wall thing is, and nothing happened there. It just gets that demographic all riled up. In the end, I don't think he really cares about illegal immigrants. I think he cares about money, and he wants to distract us. They always want to distract us, with these issues. And
wonder what they're really going to be doing.
Grifting money.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is going to go in there with his Doji department. You heard about this, right? Like Elon's Department of Government Efficiency.
Where, they're going to cut waste. Yeah, and fire a bunch of federal employees.
Yeah, well, and basically, they're firing these federal employees. That way they can go in with private companies and then turn all of these services into for-profit industry, because it's just another way to get in there and siphon more money.
Yeah, because that's what Elon does, right? He lives off the government teat.
He does, yeah. He does.
Millions and billions of dollars.
A net worth of $350 billion. He wants to be the first trillionaire. That's what he wants.
And he's going to do it with the taxpayers' money.
He's found out that it's going to be a lot faster if he pretty much takes over the government and starts siphoning money directly. He can, become a trillionaire a lot faster than if he just waits around.
What was interesting about Elon was that I think in the last week he said that he wanted to end the EV tax credits, the very credits that helped support his company and grew his company Tesla to what it is today. He wants to end those now because there's a lot of competition for the EV market, and now that he's established himself, I think he's trying to undercut everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And what I saw is he wants to end the EV tax credit for competitors and keep it for Tesla.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Right. So the Rivian is like the big competitor that's starting to pop up and be a threat to Tesla. You're starting to see those more. And then, of course, like every other auto manufacturer has their EVs, their EV line. So, but Gavin Newsom, governor of California, says that if that goes away federally, he'll keep it intact in the state of California for any car you want to buy that's an EV. He'll match that.
Well, there you go. California, I think, has the 7th largest economy in the world.
Yeah,
As a standalone, the one state. Yeah.
yeah,
They have quite a bit of sway.
I think so. They absolutely do. Okay, well, let's take a little break here. We can come back and we can talk about this this CEO that was murdered. United Healthcare CEO. United Healthcare CEO shooting. There's some new developments with that, and the discussion around that too is interesting. Also, DJT announced a plan to change elections already, Jason.
Yeah. Well, of course he
All
is.
right. Yeah, he wants to change elections. But why don't we say thanks to our sponsor real quick? You want to do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. HelloFresh. We love HelloFresh. You know, this holiday season, we're all looking for ways to spend and stress less. Ugh, so stressful.
Yeah.
How
Have
many?
you done your Have you done your holiday shopping yet?
No.
Well, I'm sure you're stressed about it, and one thing you can do to alleviate some stress is have
HelloFresh.
have your food delivered to your doorstep.
Right. Yeah, have the food delivered right to your doorstep. Beautiful. Like it's like one less thing because every I need to get back on HelloFresh. Full transparency. I'm a customer, but I paused it for a few weeks, and now I'm feeling the difference these weeks where it's paused.
Yeah.
You know, because it's every night. What's for dinner? What's for
Yeah.
dinner? What's for dinner?
Do
Yeah.
I have everything? Do I have all the ingredients?
I just worked 12 hours. Now I have to go to the grocery store.
Right.
How am I going to fit that in when I have to, pick up the kids from soccer practice?
And you got holiday shopping to do.
Yeah.
Not enough time in the day, especially these shortened days.
I don't know how I get suckered into picking up other people's kids from soccer practice.
Yeah. Well, now you can feed them with HelloFresh.
Well, yeah. All right. Feed the whole family. Okay. So get 10 free meals. HelloFresh.com/free news to us. That's applied across 7 boxes. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals. HelloFresh.com/free news to us. Again, HelloFresh.com/free news to us. 10 free meals. That's free food. Look at that. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Did you know that?
I did know that, and for good reason.
Yeah. Okay. We'll be back with more on It's News to Us. Hang on.
It's news to us. IW Radio.
I forgot my water.
Ooh, never good.
Where's my water?
Oh.
All right. Oh boy. All right. Where were we here? So we were going to talk about DJT and his plan to change elections. He's already announced, of course, President-elect DJT. And basically, it's a push for voter ID and citizenship papers to, make sure that you are voting with proof of citizenship. And they're saying paper ballots only, 1 day voting. 1 day voting and eliminating mail-in and early voting. And this, of course, is despite DJT previously encouraging supporters to use these options, eliminating mail-in and early voting and saying 1 day only. This is that's going to be chaos. And then, of course, at that point, then what are they going to do? We've seen this happen in some areas in the United States where they don't have enough polling places, so the lines are really long. Can you imagine? How long? Like you'll have to get in line at 6 a.m. and then you'll be there until 7 p.m. and they'll close the polls on you. Plus, when you're standing in line, if somebody gives you a bottle of water, that person gets arrested. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
What the hell?
That's voter suppression at its finest. That'd be, if you won by the popular vote and they're saying it was such a clear victory, wouldn't you be encouraging more people to vote because you're saying that everyone's on your side? No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we discussed earlier in the show, he barely won, so it's all about making sure that he retains power. And by the way, what are citizenship papers? Do you have those?
Birth certificate.
Birth certificate? That's your citizenship paper?
Yeah. That's proof of citizenship, I believe, along with a photo ID, government issued.
So you'll need your birth certificate, photo ID. Now, I'm all for, only American citizens, legal American citizens voting, but the rest goes a little too far,
Yeah.
to eliminate early voting, to eliminate mail-in and only have one day of voting.
Ooh.
That's
Talk about chaos. Imagine just one day of voting, no mail in, no early
Yeah.
voting.
Do you think you
One-
would still vote?
Yeah.
You would? You'd wait in line all day?
If I had to, sure, yeah.
Would you be mad?
Of course,
Angry?
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
How could you not be mad about that?
Everybody would be cranky.
Yeah.
A lot of cranky people that day.
A lot
lot
of
of people would
places
Give
you
up
wouldn't be able to work. The whole government, everything would be shut down because everyone would be in line for voting. Like, what business would be open? What office would be functioning if you had to go wait in line for hours on end? Like, all employees would be gone,
Right.
or should be anyway.
Right. I know. It would be aggravating.
It'd be chaos. That'd be total chaos.
Yeah. And you'd still vote though. You think you'd wait in line all day?
Yeah, wouldn't you? Are you saying you wouldn't?
I mean, I guess I would have to. I wouldn't be happy about it.
I mean, nobody would. Be
Yeah,
like
it's
waiting for like a concert without the payoff.
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy.
Especially if you're the person you wanted to win didn't win. Oh
Yeah.
man, that would make it worse.
Right.
Yikes.
So you're following the United Healthcare CEO shooting, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You've been following this?
I think a lot of people have. No, this is a pretty big deal.
Everybody's been following this.
Yeah.
It's like this guy's like Robin Hood.
I mean, it definitely shined light, like,
Yeah.
on United Healthcare. I mean, how do you feel like about it? Before we jump into the
How do you
details?
feel? I want
I
to
asked you first, sir.
I want to
I
know.
asked you first.
I don't want to influence your.
You
opinion.
won't influence me. I'm
You
my
have
own
an-
man.
You have an opinion on it?
I'm my own man.
It's hard to be sympathetic. It's hard to, of course, he's a human being that was murdered, but how many people did he murder by denying coverage?
Right. Yeah. I saw a statistic that United Healthcare, like out of all the big insurance companies, they had the highest percentage of declining procedures for patients and their customers.
Yeah.
I think it was like 37%, over 37% of procedures were declined by the insurance company.
Right. When I think about what happened here, I mean, like my thoughts and prayers are not in network. They're not a network.
Got it.
Sorry about that.
Gee.
I mean, it's a wake up call. I don't think anybody has any sympathy for the CEO of this company for all the horror that they've unleashed on people. Because it's like, you go and you are either bankrupt or you fight your cancer, or your loved ones are denied coverage, and then so many people have been put in bad spots by this company and by our healthcare system in general. It's like, well, I mean, you want to fuck with people, at some point they're gonna get pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it shines a spotlight on insurance companies, but we could even say it broader, right? Like corporations in general.
Yeah, and there's been a reaction to this. A lot of, actually, like all the major healthcare companies, they took their pages down on their website that say our leadership and have all of their CEOs and their C-suite.
Yeah, they're worried about copycats.
They took those pictures down. Yeah, I think they are. You know, people are upset. People are tired of being screwed over. And the thing is, so I mean, the latest is what, did they catch this guy, or they have him in custody, or they know where he is, or something? They have his
Yeah,
name.
so
What's
the latest is as of today, December 9th, a suspect has been taken into custody.
Right.
He was identified as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, and he was apprehended in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at a McDonald's.
At a McDonald's, huh?
He was trying to get a cheeseburger, and someone flagged him. I did see that also the McDonald's that he was apprehended in, people are leaving 1-star reviews for the McDonald's.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. So let's go to trial and say you're on the jury. Do you vote to convict this guy?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
You vote to convict.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, if the evidence presented in front of me shows that he clearly did it without a reasonable doubt, I mean,
Say you had a family member that was screwed over by a health insurance company.
I know, and I get I get a lot, but in this instance, in this act, did he murder someone? No matter the reason, did he murder? No.
In a way, is it self-defense? Is it self-defense?
No. And if the no,
I'm not convicting him. I'm sorry, I'm not convicting him.
Based on evidence.
Based on evidence, if it's clear as day, I am not voting. I'm saying he's not guilty. Not guilty.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean,
even if you see a video of him shooting the guy,
yeah,
not guilty.
Not guilty. I think we need to send a message, and that is stop fucking with people. Stop like squeezing us dry in America. All these corporations. Stop it. Fix our healthcare system.
Maybe instead of murdering people, like the majority can, come together and strike or something. I don't know. Do something that's more productive and less lethal.
I mean, that's not happening though. I can see his outrage there, and especially after DJT was reelected and says he wants to get rid of the Obamacare and Medicaid and everything. So it's just going to get worse. And literally everybody, both sides are praising this guy for his actions, which is crazy to think about.
Especially are you saying politicians are praising it, or just people in general?
People in general.
Let's talk about what exactly happened on December 4th, 2024. So last week, the CEO Brian Thompson CEO of United Healthcare was shot outside a Hilton hotel in New York. A masked assailant waited near the hotel entrance and shot Thompson multiple times using a suppressed 9mm pistol. The shooter then fled the scene on an e-bike into Central Park. Investigators have found shell casings and live rounds at the scene with the words "deny," "depose," and "defend" inscribed into the different rounds and casings of the bullets.
Right.
The suspect was originally from Maryland. He graduated from the University of Pennsylvania with a degree in computer science and had no prior criminal record.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the motive was behind this, because he had to have lost a loved one or was denied health care himself. So what about that? Like, I don't know. Say you have a terminal disease, and then your insurance company says that your treatment is not going to be covered. At that point, and there is a treatment for it, and they could cure you with it, but it's going to be too expensive, or they just don't want to do it for it, because these insurance companies fuck with people nonstop.
All the time.
At that point, isn't it self-defense in a way? Like, I know that it's somebody's literally wants you dead at that point. It's a moral gray area.
Yeah, but I don't know. The CEO doesn't know. It's their policies that they enact, and he approves them ultimately, and the buck stops with the top, right? Like,
yeah.
But he doesn't know what, he just puts in place
Oh, he knows. He knows what the hell.
he doesn't know what individual
company.
people cases by case, but he implements a policy that's broad to
Yeah,
deny coverage.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They have blood on their hands.
Eye for an eye is what you're saying then.
I mean, that's what happened here, and it's like it's no surprise.
That's the world you want to live in. Eye for an eye.
It's like somebody kills one of your family members and then they're shocked that something bad happens to them.
Why don't we just do a purge?
Okay, is that what DJT wants?
Yeah, basically. Why don't we just purge?
You want to just purge?
I would.
Now you're on the purge bandwagon.
I'm not on any bandwagon. I don't think the guy should have done it. I understand why he did it.
Well, of course we don't. I mean, I don't think he should.
I would find him guilty if I was a juror.
I never would have advised that he did it. But
you would let him off the hook.
Yeah, absolutely.
For murdering someone.
In this
let
case,
a murderer walk.
I would have a hard time sending that guy to jail for the rest of his life. I really would.
Mm.
I see it as self-defense.
Well, we don't know exactly what's going on with the suspect.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Somebody that he loves or himself has been fucked over. Why else would he do it?
Oh.
But we'll find out more.
Yeah, we'll find out more.
The exact motives are currently under investigation.
I'm just saying, land of the law, right? Law of the land. We need law here, law and order.
Yeah, we do need law and order, but at some point the people need to, stop taking shit. And
right.
I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it, but when it happens, people who are fucking with other people shouldn't be shocked. I mean, do the right thing. The people on the top need to do the right thing. How about that?
Yeah. Hopefully this is a wake-up call for all of them.
Yeah, I saw that the CEO of Chipotle is raising the price of guacamole, and people in the comments on Facebook were not happy about that.
Oh boy!
But it's just tread lightly, everybody.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get worse if all these tariffs that DJT's talking about are imposed. All that cost is gonna filter down to us, and we thought it was expensive. Now, just you wait.
Right. Yeah, but that's a crazy story. We'll see more. Well, of course, will come from that. What happened there? A teacher died from rabies?
Yeah. Have you heard about this?
How did a teacher get rabies?
Yeah, a 61-year-old teacher in Dos Palos, California, died after being bit by a bat that had flown into her classroom.
What? So a bat just flew into the classroom randomly and bit this teacher.
Yeah, the teacher was in the middle of class with students, and
wow,
she was trying to remove the bat from her classroom at a middle school, and the bat bit her.
Jeez.
And she didn't do anything. I guess she didn't do anything about it. The school didn't do anything about it. And a month later, she went to get medical attention after showing symptoms of rabies. And once you have symptoms of rabies, it's pretty much
late.
Game over. Yeah. So
what are the symptoms? Like, was she drooling, biting people? What was it?
Biting people? What do you think? She was a vampire?
I don't know. Isn't that what happens? Like when an animal gets rabies, they become very bitey. So I don't know if you're bitten by a bat, like a random bat. Don't you think the first thing you would do is go to the doctor?
Animal
and get rabies? I would. That's like the first thing that would go through my mind. And how I bet people around her must have said rabies is a risk here, and she didn't listen to them. I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised that the school didn't require her to go get a rabies shot
before she returned back,
or just after. I'm sure she had to report the incident, right? Like, I was bit by a. I would think that you would report that injury, like any other workplace.
I find it hard to believe that in a month span, nobody told her to go get a rabies shot.
Yeah, because I was actually reading this. So
yeah,
the rabies shot is actually a rabies vaccine, and it's kind of rare, or it's kind of unique in that you can get the vaccine, you can get the rabies shot after being bit by an infected animal, and it'll help keep the rabies concentrated to the bite area and push it out of the body and allow your body to fight it. But if you don't do that, the rabies spreads and you become there's a lot of neurological symptoms that one would experience with a rabies. And once you have the symptoms, you're done.
Yeah. Well, if you get bitten by a wild animal of any kind, please get a rabies shot.
Even an unknown animal. It could be a pet. If you don't know the pet, or if that pet hasn't been vaccinated.
Yeah, you're right. Because people are supposed to keep up on their animals' rabies shots, but you never know.
Right.
You never know. I mean, okay, if you're bitten by somebody like a friend's dog, though, do you think that you would go get a rabies shot? Because I don't know that I would in that case. I think I would. I guess it depends on how bad the bite is, but say it doesn't even need to be that big of a bite. It's just a bite that breaks the skin.
Yeah.
Would you immediately go get a rabies shot in that case?
If the dog hadn't had its vaccines, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
you?
I don't
I
know
think
if
the
I
chances
would think
are.
I really don't think I would even think of it.
I think
If it
it's
was
probably
like-
pretty low for animals because they're vaccinated. They're not around infected animals all that often, but certainly a wild animal, I would go get a rabies shot.
I mean, if I were playing with your dog and he bit me, I don't think I would think about going to get a rabies shot at all.
Haha, sucker.
Well, let's take a quick break, and then we have a couple more stories to get to. It's news to us. Don't go anywhere.
It's news to us. IW Radio.
There's a woman that's in big trouble because she zipped her boyfriend into a suitcase, and he died after being zipped into a suitcase. How do you get zipped into a suitcase, first of all?
I don't know. But
What the hell happened here?
the 47-year-old woman was sentenced to life in prison for second-degree murder after she zipped her boyfriend into a suitcase, leaving him to suffocate overnight. She was convicted based on videos found on her phone showing her taunting her boyfriend as he pleaded to be let out, saying he couldn't breathe. She allegedly mocked him, referencing infidelity, and left him in the suitcase while she went to sleep.
So apparently there was some infidelity there, and then she decided, I'll zip him up into a suitcase and show him. And then he ends up dying in there, huh?
Yeah.
In this suitcase.
It was reported that the couple had been drinking and they were playing hide and seek before the boyfriend voluntarily entered the suitcase. According to the woman.
Like, how do you stuff somebody into a suitcase? I guess so. If it was voluntary,
yeah,
then
this is according to her, so we don't know.
yeah.
But she claimed that she believed he could free himself as he had two fingers outside the zipper, so she thought he could unzip it himself.
So he had two fingers outside. This doesn't add up to me. And then he still suffocated.
I don't know, but
that's just what she's saying.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. But she, in her statement, she said that, quote, I wanted him to try to understand how I felt so maybe he could progress and be a better person, end quote.
By zipping him up into a suitcase?
Yeah. Do you fold him as like a carry-on suitcase? How big is a suitcase? How do you fit a grown-ass man in a suitcase, Eddie?
I don't know.
Do you think you could fit into a suitcase?
No, absolutely not. I have a suitcase right by me, coincidentally, and I could not fit into that.
Yeah. Well, don't try, because you might die.
Jeez, what a terrible way to die, by being in a suitcase.
Right.
Jeez.
That's sad. I'm sad for the family. The victim's family. That's tragic.
What a stupid way to die, too. You always wonder. You always wonder.
You always wonder how you're going to die?
Yeah, you always wonder how you're going to die.
I never wonder that. Ever.
You never think zipped up in a suitcase. You never wonder about how you're going to die, ever?
I don't know.
You never once think about what's going to do you in?
No. Do you?
Yeah, I do. I wonder, is it going to be old age? Is it going to be a tragic accident? What's going to happen?
Yeah, I guess I don't think about that ever.
Yeah, I mean, I like to assume it's going to be old age, but you never really know.
You don't know.
I think it's good to think about that because it reminds you that life is short, and
Yeah,
you
sure.
really don't know.
Take it for granted if you don't. Maybe I should think about how it'll end for me.
We made it this far. That's pretty good, but
Well past where I thought I was going to make it. So
yeah, we're well past our prime.
I'm bonus
Yeah.
time.
Right, this is bonus time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any final stories to get to before we wrap it up?
I do want to touch, since we did tease it, or at least I teased it.
Yeah.
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad fled to Russia after rebels captured Damascus after an 11-day offensive in Syria.
Right.
The former prime minister of Syria agreed to hand over power to the rebel leaders. And yeah, it's the Middle East is becoming more and more unstable. There's fear that ISIS will come back again, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, it's I don't know. Middle East seems to be more and more unstable, Eddie.
Yeah, it's a mess over there. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that, but I'll work on it.
All right. Well,
I'll
maybe
get to-
ask
I'll get to work.
ChatGPT. Why don't we get AI involved and see if they can come up with world peace?
I think at some point we're going to have to do that. Why don't we have AI solve all of these issues in the Middle East? Because nobody else seems to be able to do it.
Right.
It seems to be like a problem that human beings can't figure out for some reason. So maybe we should have AI deployed into the Middle East.
Yeah. Broker some deals.
Yeah.
Create some deals and peace treaties.
Yeah, I think AI could navigate the nuance. I think if AI were to solve the problems in the Middle East, we would have to bow down to it and worship it.
Right. It would be our overlord.
And I'll take the AI overlord.
Really?
Sure. Versus what we have now.
Hmm.
Would you rather have AI or our new regime going?
Oh, this is interesting. Actually,
Yeah.
you're saying new regime, but I go back to the United Healthcare CEO.
Right.
I'll go back to that story and say AI was in charge. They would probably deny just as many claims as they do now, if not more.
But that's not. I mean, it depends on
Because
what
you take the
parameters
emotion.
are.
You
are
take the
given.
emotion out, Eddie.
But
There are no
it's
parameters with AI.
It's under a faulty system.
AI has no parameters. It thinks on its own.
These companies have the money to help these people. That's the thing, though, and they instead it goes
it would
to profit.
But they look at it. They don't look at it as helping someone. They look at it as an investment. If we approve this coverage and approve, whatever this claim, if we approve it, will they be able to in turn pay us back for the money that we spend, or at the end of life, and they will they can no longer pay? So we're going to deny it.
So you're defending.
I'm saying it'd be more. No, I'm saying AI would be worse. I'm saying that
it depends on
emotions
what you
need to be
tell
involved.
AI to do. If you say to AI, listen, save as many lives
you
as
can't tell
possible.
them what to do. AI is.
Yeah, you can. Have you?
No.
You use ChatGPT all the time. If
All
you
the
tell
time.
if you give it the parameters, it'll follow. If you say,
Until
hey,
it doesn't. Until
you say this is the budget. Save lives and spare no expense.
I'm just saying it would be worse.
You think
That's
it'd
all
be
I'm saying.
worse?
I think it would be worse. Yeah, because there's
With
no
AI
emotion
in
with
charge.
AI. Yeah, I do.
Well, it's only one way to find out, and I'm willing to.
What? Nope. Once you open Pandora's box, we can never. It'll,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only a matter of
It'll
time.
be Terminator, man.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. What are you, O'Connor over here? What are you doing?
At this point, I mean, Terminator sounds pretty fun.
Jesus, I don't know. It
You
looked
know?
pretty bleak in the future in Terminator.
I think as long as whatever brings this country together, I think we need to have one common enemy, and that
We do have one. We're just blind to it right now, and it's the top 1%.
exactly. You're right.
We already have it, Eddie.
But nobody's waking up. I think we need machines in the middle of the streets with lasers.
We need
'Cause people are
Skynet.
dumb.
Come on, let's bring on Skynet.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it. We've done it all. We've said it all. There's nothing more to talk about. Hope that everybody has a great rest of your week, and maybe you are a little bit more informed. Maybe not. I don't know. Follow us on social media while you still can on TikTok. It's news to us, and then I guess we'll be on Lemonade after that.
Lemonade.
And then we're on Instagram. Everybody's telling us that we need to be posting more on social media.
Well, we're getting on the ground floor on Lemonade.
I thought it was funny that your mom was lecturing us on posting more on social media. I was like, wow. That's funny. But yeah, we need to get on that. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
With all due respect, that's a bunch of malarkey.